you love where you live? People in Idaho might think they live in the best place in the state. After all, you wouldn't spend your life somewhere you truly didn't love, right? Not always. In fact, a Pew Research Center study determined that almost half of Americans would rather live somewhere else than they do now. Well, if you're in one of the Idaho cities we're about to highlight, odds are you don't want to go anywhere. The goal today is to analyze the best cities in Idaho to live. How do we do it? Well, we looked at the places with low crime, great jobs, great weather, affordable housing, and solid schools. We even looked at short commute times. You might be surprised by the results. So pull up a chair and put a smile on your face as we look at Idaho's best cities. Our first stop on our tour of Idaho's best city starts in Post Falls. While lots of people in Idaho might be like, "Are you kidding me?" when you look at the data, it's actually a great place to live. Crime is the 10th lowest in the state, and they have the 3rd best public schools in Idaho. Plus, Post Falls residents are in the top 10 for income levels. Our next best city to live in Idaho is Lewiston. The unemployment rate here is staggeringly low. It's relatively safe in Lewiston, and the housing market's solid. And if you like sunny days, this is your place. It's the kind of place where you can just chill, yo. However, the public schools aren't as good as they are in other districts, so your kids might not be getting the best education. Continuing our best city tour of Idaho brings us to Hailey. This awesome city ranks 10th in income levels, 3rd in school spending, and there are hardly any vacant homes. That means lots of people want to live here. Crime is really low, and the public schools are great. If you live in Hailey, you're probably straight chillin'. If you're looking for a great place to live, you might want to consider Ammon. Believe it or not, Ammon families command some of the highest incomes in Idaho, and people here are pretty cheerful. Plus, each Ammon school kid gets about $1,000 more each than the state average. It sure beats some of the other middle-of-the-nowhere places in Idaho you could call home, that's for sure. Chubbuck comes in as the 6th best city to live in Idaho. While there's tons of places in Idaho where people are pretty backwoods, you won't find that here, where residents earn on average the 3rd highest incomes overall. Chubbuck's 7th lowest for crime too. However, the bad side's commute times. There aren't too many other places in Idaho where you'll sit in the car longer going to and from work. Despite the fact that many people haven't considered it before, Rexburg is actually a great place to live. Families are comfortable here, and the housing market is doing just fine. And it seems just about everyone in Rexburg is in a great mood all the time. No surprises here that Moscow is one of the best places to live in the state. Moscow takes number 1 in 3 categories. It's the safest place to live, the unemployment rate's one of the lowest in the state, and surprisingly, commute times aren't that bad. And if you don't have a job in Moscow, it's because you refuse to work. Where's the 3rd best city to live in Idaho? You might be surprised to hear it, but it's Star. Not only is Star one of the most beautiful cities in the state, it has great schools and low crime. Plus, it's not very crowded. And if you want to get away to a bigger city, it's easy. Yeah, people in Star have it made. This might not be a popular opinion, but when you look at the data, Eagle is the 2nd best city you can live in Idaho. People here are really successful, and folks in Eagle earn pretty decent salaries, thank you very much. That means you can retire a lot earlier. Plus, you don't have to watch your back all the time since crime's really low. And where's the best city in Idaho? That would be Meridian. Surprised? Households in Meridian are in the top 10 when it comes to average incomes. And not only do Meridian folks earn great salaries, most of them are employed. Plus, you have a ton of stuff to do within a short drive. Factor in lots of fun, low crime, and lots of friendly people, and you've got one hell of a place to call home. If you live in Meridian or any of the other Idaho cities we mentioned, congratulations. You certainly have a reason to smile.